Hello everybody, it's me, the Masked Guy, and as you can probably tell, this is my first time doing a facecam video. You can also see the Binding of Isaac on the screen, and it's been in the corner, hopefully, if I've done everything right, which I really hope this all goes well, because I've spent the entire day figuring all this shit out and getting the audio balance and making sure I can be seen on the screen and all that. But yeah, I've gotten big into the Binding of Isaac again. I mean, I've put over 200 hours into the original on Steam, and I shared at least 200 hours between the PS4 version, the PS Vita version, and the Steam version. And I kind of stopped playing it for a while, and then recently my girlfriend, who you saw in my last video, sorry if I'm moving a lot, I have the laptop on my lap. I didn't like it on the desk, so I'm just keeping it here like this. But anyway, yeah, my girlfriend, who I got into it, yeah, she's after getting into it, and I kind of got me back into it too. And now I really want to record videos of it. So here we are. I was thinking I'm going to crack out my old tiny little pocket-sized controller for it, which, you know, has its little buttons. It's got the shoulder buttons on top and all that, but it's really hard to use. You kind of lose a lot of the dexterity. Ow. So I have my PS4 controller hooked up instead. So I get all that. I know I could use the keyboard, but I don't know, I'm kind of used to using the joysticks and stuff now, really. I think it's easier. And because I want to seem like I know what I'm doing, because I have played this a lot and I know what most of the items do, but there's still a small few intricacies and all that. So I am using the platinumgod.co.uk cheat sheet, because that's probably the most kind of just convenient, because there's just all the items, you can just click it and it'll tell you what it does. I mean, for the most part, I understand what everything does. There's still a few of the trinkets that I kind of forget about a lot of the time, like the rosary bead and stuff. And just the kind of vague items that give you faith up or sin up or whatever, that don't have a clearly, immediately visible thing. Like increasing the odds of angel rooms and all that stuff. But sorry, I could probably be doing something while I'm talking. Yeah, I kind of just, my Steam has kind of was just flushed out really, so I think this is definitely now 100% a new game. And I was thinking, will I start doing just regular runs, or will I jump right into the challenges? Also, for the first few videos, I'm going to be talking through the Binding of Isaac itself. But I wasn't going to give an introduction because, I mean, who doesn't know what the Binding of Isaac is at this stage? At least people who watch YouTube videos to kind of have some sort of grasp on indie games, you would usually think. I don't know. I'm going to give some sort of little introduction, but I'm not going to go back to the roots of it. But yeah, anyway, there's lots of challenges, but I don't know, I think I'd rather just kind of go straight in with my very first run. I only have Isaac unlocked at the start of the game, so picking a random character won't make a difference. But yeah, I'm going to jump right in, and I really hope I remember to actually emote and all this on the facecam, because I'm used to just doing ones where you can't see me, so I have to remember that people are going to be watching me. So here we are. You start off in this room. It's a top-down shooter, up, down, left, right, and you can kind of angle your shots if you move while shooting. And in every floor, well, the first like 6 floors, there's an item room. And I got lucky with the first one, Little Brimstone. This little guy follows me around, and while I'm shooting, he charges up, and he releases a super powerful laser. These rooms here are called curse rooms apparently, and they are spiky rooms that hurt you when you go into them. But they will contain chests and or items or shitty things like troll bombs and spiders. But sweet merciful Jesus, this is starting off to be an amazing run. I mean, within the first like minute, I've gotten Cricket's head and Baby Brimstone. Cricket's head increases my damage and the size of my shots. So basically, Isaac, I didn't have the little opening cutscene on because I forgot, to be honest. Yeah, basically Isaac's a little boy living with his mother, and she watches Christian broadcasts, and then she seems to be a little bit crazy because... Did I use my bomb already? Sorry. Because she's watching Christian broadcasts on TV, and then she starts hearing the voice of God, and like the story of Isaac in the Bible, basically God tells her to kill him after taking away all of his nice things, including his clothes, which explains why I'm naked right now. And she takes away all of my clothes because God told her to, and then he tells her to kill me, and I go jump into the trapdoor that seems to be hidden in my bedroom for some reason, and I go into the basement. And now this is me fighting through whatever scary, nasty things are in the basement. Until the ultimate goal of killing Mom. But anyway, this is starting off extremely well. It's a roguelike, so if you die you stay dead and you have to start off a new run. Everything's randomized. I just got extremely lucky. I just got hit by Monstro twice, which is embarrassing. I'm just going to keep my distance and let little Brimstone do all the damage. Because should be concentrating, but I'm trying to talk at the same time. But I think I've given enough of an intro into the Binding of Isaac. This is the sequel / remake. This one's called Rebirth. The original one was just Binding of Isaac, and the expansion for that was called Wrath of the Lamb. Thing is, I don't know much about the original, because I got Wrath of the Lamb and the original kind of together, like, because I didn't play the game day one. So I didn't really know what was new I don't really know what was added between the original Binding of Isaac and the Wrath of the Lamb. But I definitely know everything that's in Rebirth. And so when the new expansion comes out called Afterbirth, hopefully this year, but it might be next year depending on how done they are with it, I'll know what's different and I'll be able to figure out what's new in it. But yeah, this as a sequel / remake, it looks a lot more pixely and it runs way smoother because the original one was in Flash and it was really like dodgy and slow. I mean, it's still good, but it just wasn't half as good as this, like. And even aside from all the items and the new features that have been added in. What is going on? Sorry, I'm in an arcade, and you basically give that guy money. It's like a little Crossing Cups game, but it's purely rigged because you can't see what he's doing, so it's just random guessing. And there's a slot machine, but there's an item that you have a chance of getting called Scatole, which basically makes flies not hurt you anymore. And I just got it, like, and I mean my luck, as you can see, this is all my stats. There's my movement speed, fire rate, damage, range, shot speed, and luck. My luck is pretty much at 0, like, and I'm getting super lucky already. For the first playthrough, this is really making me want to play through this game more times, just because this is, like, stupidly good. Also, to make this place easier, I'm going to shoot through rocks as my Brimstone guy. So I don't have to keep on dodging, because they'll only shoot me when I'm in their line of sight, which makes it a lot more dodgy, because literally dodgy, not just suspicious. Because, you know, I'll just have to be going up or down or whatever. But yeah, sorry, I'm really in awe of how good this run is. Unfortunately, I need a key to get in here and I don't have any yet. I will blow this place open though. Actually, I'll see if there's any tinted rocks. There are certain rocks that are a different colour to normal rocks, and they'll contain items, but it's not. So I'm just going to blow up a bomb to get a bomb. Just because I can. 2 more chests. A troll bomb, which is bad, and it's a big one so it follows you, and 2 enemy spiders. So this curse room this time was shitty, but that's okay because the first one was amazing. Next up, more rooms. These guys are another ones that'll only shoot you when you're in their line of sight. And is there anything else? Hopefully you'll be able to see my map in the corner too. I know I can make it bigger, but I tried to make it so that my little face in the corner wasn't blocking it. I'm gonna try this. There's a secret room, or there's 2 secret rooms in every floor, kind of in the center. It's probably more down by under the item room, which is shown by the crown on the map. I really hope this face cam is actually working, because otherwise I'm just going to be talking to my camera and no one's going to be seeing it and I'll feel like a dope. Not like I don't feel like a dope anyway, because face cam I think is one of these things you have to get used to. I mean, I'm already adjusted to YouTube and all that, like, even though I ramble a lot and whatever, but I think people have gotten used to that now. It's what I do, it's what you know me for. Ooh, tinted rock, this little grey one down here, and it will contain a soul heart, which is kind of like, oh yeah, I already have 2. It's like a little shield, so like once the soul hearts are depleted, they're gone for good, but so they're just a little bit of extra covering. Now let's see what this boss is. Also, I have to remember to not skip past these intros. I think I did it on the last one. I skipped past the little thing that says Isaac versus whatever, Monstro. Oops, I forgot about this guy. Kaboom! Larry Jr. is really easy to kill. Also, remember in the last place I picked up the goat head in that chest? That basically guarantees that these Devil Deal rooms will appear, because usually you have to not take any red heart damage, but because I've got the goat's head now, these devil rooms will always appear. The reason it didn't appear on the first floor is because the Devil Deal never appears on the first floor. Jesus Juice gives me damage and range up, so now I'm even stronger. In here there are 3 red chests. Sometimes there'll be special items that you will give up hearts to get, but 3 red chests is basically just free things or more enemies. And sometimes red chests teleport you to the devil deal room, which in this case is redundant, but whatever. Now, oh, there's a tinted rock here. I really need to get into that item room. Oh, I already unlocked a new character, Lazarus, which is by having 4 or more soul hearts. Oh, there's also black hearts, but I'll come to that later. Now, I might be able to get in by bombing the wall. Hopefully. I just have to kind of align it. So I would put the bomb here. Because it's hard to figure out where the secret rooms go. Shit. So unfortunately, I have no more bombs. And I have no keys. And I have no way of accessing that place. I can't get into the shop. I've got no money at all. So in terms of the consumables and the collectibles, I'm not doing great. But in terms of the items, I'm doing alright. Unfortunately, I missed out on that item room, so I'm not as strong as I could possibly be. And these are the little intermissions where Isaac is having dreams, nightmares, or aspects of his past that are just still haunting him. Or not even his past, his present, he's only young. Oh, Guppy's head, which is a usable item, spacebar item, but I'm using controller, so I press R1. And, sorry, I actually press L2. And it gives me flies. Flies deal damage to enemies total to twice my own attack, which at the moment is very high. So these flies, ow. So basically it'll take 2 of those flies to kill 2 of these little annoying maggoty things. And all of these usable items also have a recharge. The Guppy's head is good because it only has a 1-room recharge, so I can use it again. Unfortunately, I still have no keys, so I still can't get into the item room. Oh boy. Oh, exploding flies. Still no keys. I'm sure I'll get one eventually. Hopefully. I can't go through this game without picking up any more items, like I'm not that strong. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh yeah, I found a key. I can't reach it because it's surrounded. There are ways in, like if I could fly or if I had something that would let me bridge this gap. But this is just fucking ridiculous, like. It's so unfair. Yeah, oh, by the way, this game is super unfair. I mean, sometimes you'll have a great run and everything will go perfectly for you. Other times it'll troll the hell out of you. Okay, here's an actual accessible key. So now we'll go down into the item room. And it'll probably be terrible. It's not too bad. Poison touch. Oh no, it's not, sorry, it's 30 touch, yeah. There's a difference. There is an item called poison touch, but this one, basically, every time I touch a small enemy, I turn to shit. This here is an arena room, where you can access this one if you have full hearts. And then you open the chest and you'll start fighting 3 waves of enemies. I don't have any keys though, so I can't do it. I want to show you, but I don't think my flies are going to give me a chance to use the 30 touch, because they're just going to kill all the enemies before I get a chance to turn them into poop. Even though those enemies were poop anyway, but they were more like an anthropomorphized poop, or whatever the hell that word is. Anthropomorphized poop. It's poop come to life. This poop is just a little stationary poop though. But these flies are just going to kill everything before I get a chance to. Because I can just keep on spawning them every room. Jesus, why do I have so few keys though? Oh, here's one. I'll fight the boss first though. Gertie Jr. Yeah, she's kind of annoying. Or he. I don't know why I always assumed Gertie was a girl. It's kind of a old lady kind of a name. Whoop! Oh yeah, I forgot about my lasers. Jeez, I really have to stop forgetting about little brimstone. Angel room. I often find the angel rooms are better, but they're slightly harder to find, I think. Ah, the Holy Mantle. Which basically now, I can, every time, the first time I'm in a room, the first hit is free, like I just won't take any damage. Oh, I forgot I picked up a pill, I must use that. Bombs are key. So that swaps around the number of bombs you have versus the number of keys you have. Thing is, I'm 1 for 1 anyway, so it didn't do anything. And there's bombs in here. So now I have to fight 3 waves of enemies. But for example, if I touch this guy, he turns to poop. That's what E. coli does. And it would be with any small enemies, so like any of those flies, any of these weird looking guys with flies in them, they'd all turn to poop if I touched them. But I'd still take damage from it. Okay, I didn't mean to get so close to him. These things are annoying because you can't damage them when they're down, and they won't come up until you stop shooting at them. They're not the worst. There's also walking ones, and I mean they can just back you into a corner first, and then they start firing. And there's nothing you can do about it because you can't damage them. There's no means whatsoever to damage them while they're not exposed. So they're a pain in the ass. Actually, sometimes these blue flames, you can't shoot them out like regular flames, but they will sometimes contain soul hearts. But I don't really want to waste my bombs. Anyway, at the very least, at least I have 1 key, so I will be able to get into the item room next time. Sorry, I also have to stop. It's a force of habit now because I played through this game so many times, I just skip through the loading screens. So I have to stop skipping through the intermissions and the boss fights. Let's see, any tinted rocks here? They will always be a slightly different colour, but the deeper you get, the harder they are to tell. They will also be a little X. They'll also be marked, but again, it's very hard to see the further down you get. Now these guys, they just bounce around the corners, and they just explode in shots. But you may have noticed there that I got hit, but I only just kind of started flashing, and he didn't make any kind of, you know, ow kind of a thing. And that's because my holy mantle. That the first hit is free, so I won't take damage. So that means I actually get 1 free turning enemy into poop as well. So I can just run into them and they get turned into poop. That's actually pretty handy, I didn't think about that. So there's a few little kind of strategies you can kind of devise based on whatever you picked up in the certain playthrough. Geez, now I'm getting loads of keys. I still wish I didn't miss out on that first item though. Oop. These guys like follow you and they aim for you. Well, they don't aim for you, they just follow you. Yeah, you know what, I'm going to show you what a shop looks like. There you are, and you pick up money in the game as is indicated in the corner of the screen. And there'll always be the expensive thing that'll cost 15 cents. Or sometimes it'll be on sale and it'll only cost 7. If you blow up those shopkeepers, they will sometimes either drop nothing, coins, or spiders. But I still can't afford that. I'm willing to wait though, because then every time I get hit, I also get money. So that piggy bank is actually an investment. So that big red guy is a champion enemy. He's bigger and stronger than the other types. He has more health and he'll drop an item. Like he dropped a heart. Different ones drop different things, or sometimes they drop nothing. This actually isn't a bad item. This is the crystal ball, yeah. That's what it's called. I knew it, I just forgot it. And you use it, and it gives you an item. But not only that, it reveals the entire map. So now I can see where the secret room is and stuff. Do I want to hold on to that, or do I want to keep the guppy's head? The thing is, the guppy's head, now that I've used it a few times and I picked it up, even though it's not marked in my stuff, it is still considered picked up. So if I'm lucky enough to find 2 more guppy items, then I will become the cat. Which is a very cool transformation. I don't like relying on it too much, because sometimes you might get 2 pieces of it, and you need 3, and you'd never get it, so... You know, unless I really feel like I'm guaranteed to get it, I wouldn't push for it. That guy is a key beggar. He just begs you for keys. I mean, if you give him a key, he might give you something, or he might not. And I find you have to spend a lot of keys on him to get anything useful, so I usually don't bother unless I have like 50 keys. Here's another pill. You don't know what a pill is going to do until you eat it. Like that one just took a heart off me right away. I don't know if it counts like that, because I had the holy mantle though. I don't know if I still took damage from it. I hate these guys, because they have kind of aim for you a little bit more. But this holy mantle is really making me look a lot better at this game than I am by not getting hit all the time. Because I'm going to say I'm not totally pro, like I don't think I've finished this whole game without taking any hits yet. So there's still a few achievements that have gone over my head. But... oh well. Okay, here is a mini-boss, one of the 7 deadly sins. This one is lust, so it just chases you, because it's lustily following you. And now I have Poison Touch. So now not only do I turn enemies to shit when I touch them, I also poison them. And there are obviously 7 different deadly sins. And then there's also super versions of every one of the sins, except for Pride. And Pride is Ultra Pride instead of Super Pride. Because, you know, in the theme of things really, I suppose Pride would be the one that would give itself a higher title. Plus apparently it's actually based on like the developers of this game. Ed McMillan and I don't know, Nicalis? I don't know how many people Nicalis consists of. I don't know much about them. I don't know. I think they make... What was that game they made? Was it VVVVVVV? I'm not sure. I don't know if I've ever played it. I always get mixed up with VVV and N+, even though I know they're 2 totally different games. Okay, so here is a tinted rock. There's the X on it. It's very hard to tell though. And there's his things. I should probably do my research in game developers, but I don't know. I'm sorry guys, you made a great game. I'm sorry I don't know anything about your personal lives. I hope this is entertaining. I really love this game, and you know, you watch playthroughs of it, and it's one of these things where you're watching a playthrough and it's like, ah, because you see people doing things and it's like, I would not have done it that way, and I get really annoyed watching them. You know, if they're good at the game, it's all well and good, but then you watch some of them and it's like, oh my god, what are you doing, man? You know, and I'm just like, ugh. Okay, so I just picked up a trinket. That thing appeared in the bottom left corner. That one is the whipworm, and it makes your tears zoom across the screen faster. So basically increases your tear speed. Now this boss is Chub, and he's got his own little chublets, or whatever they're called, I don't know. Yeah, there's also all of the enemies in this game have names, but I've never really kind of done that much research into what they're all called. I suppose it's the same with like Zelda and all that, you know, all the enemies have their own names, but if you see a bat, you just think, oh no, it's a bat, even though it's called a keys, or a key, or whatever. Or you see a skeleton and you just think, oh, it's a skeleton, but it's actually a Stalfos. You know, that kind of stuff. I just don't bother learning the names. Ooh, another devil angel room. And the magic 8 ball, which increases how fast my shots move across the screen again, and it gives me a free card. The cards are kind of like pills, only that you know what they do because you can see it. And this one gives you a slot machine, or a fortune telling machine. Fortune teller's good. Oh, I forgot I was meant to be buying the piggy bank. Oh, oops. Wait, what? Does that... What the fuck? 2 crystal balls. Okay. I shouldn't have used it there. I should have waited until I was on the next floor. And 2 eternal hearts. Eternal hearts is this half a heart. And if you pick up another half a heart, or if you go into the next floor while you have the half, it'll give you an extra heart container, just like that. I wish I got an actual angel room item though. Something really badass like the Sacred Heart. I'll take what I can get. But yeah, that's really weird. 2 fucking crystal balls. And I finished this floor, have I? Yeah. That's so funny. I didn't realize it was possible to get 2 draws like that. I mean, I know you can get the Steamy sale twice. Or at least, I got it 3 times once, which basically half prices all the items in the shops for the rest of the run through. I picked up 3 of them once. I didn't realize you could get 2 crystal balls though. That was pretty weird. And a complete waste, but whatever. But yeah, I should have kept onto it until I started off this floor, because now I have to charge up the item before I can fully reveal the map. Oh well, we live and learn. It's also a great novelty for me to be playing this on a big screen again, because I've been playing it on the Vita so much. On the PlayStation Vita, in case anyone's wondering what the hell I'm talking about all the time. And so now I'm playing it on a proper big screen. And this has higher graphics as well, like the Vita kind of took away some of the visual touches. Whoa! Oh god. I hate these guys because they turn into those annoying fucking skeleton things. I must stop forgetting about my little brimstone though. He can just shoot through all these rocks and keep me safe. There we go. Oh. Right. But yeah, like the Vita, it still looks really good and it has a good smooth frame rate and all that. But there's some of the visual touches that they've taken out. Like this kind of mist. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it that well on the video, but there's kind of a mist. And I think actually all these little bugs that are flying around and stuff too, they're not in that version. just because they want to save all the processing power for what's important to the game, which is the gameplay and how smooth it runs. It's coming out on the Binding of Isaac Rebirth is coming out on the 3DS, the new 3DS, and the Wii U as well soon. I'm sure the Wii U would be good enough, but I mean the 3DS, the graphics have never been that great. And I mean, I know now, like, there's the exclusive for the 3DS, what's it called? Xenoblade Chronicles. You know, it's meant to look a lot better, and it's it can only be run on a new 3DS. But still, I don't know if, I mean, I know this game doesn't have the best graphics anyway, but the resolution I always find is where the 3DS falls down. And you know, like, it could be a good enough looking game, but it'd still just be really small. And I know it's got small screens, but so does the Vita, and that has, like, there seems to be a better graphical system. But I'd say the controls, but I don't know, I think that, because like anyone who's played the new 3DS and you know what that little touchpad is, or the little circle pad is like, the right hand analog stick, I think that'd be really awkward for shooting. You'd have to use the buttons. Because it's not even a joystick, it's just a little nub that you just rub and things happen. I don't know. I don't mean to be pissing on the DS at all, because I'm a massive fan of the DS. Like, I bought a new 3DS, so I kind of have to like it. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Binding of Isaac will work fine on the Wii U, but I don't know. I'm gonna take the 3DS version with a pinch of salt. Hopefully it'll be cross-buy, because I would totally buy it on both. Because as far as I'm concerned, Ed McMillan deserves all of my money for making one of the best games of this generation. Putting it out there, argue in the comments, whatever. I'm just saying it. Crystal ball, and I got a moon card, which I will show you in a minute. But first, I will pick up the anemic, which basically now every time I get hit, I will leave a trail of blood behind, which hurts enemies. Now I will use my moon card, and it'll take me to the secret room, which will give me lots of money. And now I can go to the shop and spend the money, once I figured out where it is. Oh, it's up at the top. So I'll get that on my way to the boss. In that case, down here is a library. Oh no, it's not, it's a card shop. Judgment! Oh, that takes... Excuse me, this will teleport, the hermit teleports me to the shop as well. I'm getting tongue-tied now. How much have I actually been playing this? 21 minutes. Oh, that's not too bad, so. And another judgment. Okay. So these two people are the other beggars, the money beggar and the heart beggar. They're both getting my money. And my hearts, respectively. Oh, you see, now my anemia has kicked in, and I'm leaving a trail of blood behind me. And they basically leave you items. I'm going to use this because I'd rather keys than bombs. This gives me an extra health. And now this guy will hopefully give me a good devil item. Or a boss item. Speed and damage up. And if you get 2 injections in one playthrough, you unlock the little baggie. You don't get it, but it's just now available to get in the future. And that makes me faster and even stronger. The world card I picked up will fully reveal the map. Actually, now that I think of it, I don't need that because I already have the crystal ball, so that'd be a waste. There's still one room over here though that I really feel like I should get. Even though it's probably a waste, but I still want to get it. Yep, it was a waste, it's just some bats. Bats are okay, but then they charge at you when you get close enough. 1 cent? Was it worth it? No. So I'm going to teleport to the shop. And get the bottle of pills. No, I'm going to blow this guy up first though. Because if you blow up enough shopkeepers, then you unlock another item. Fuck it, I will. Use it, get my pill out of it. Pick up my crystal ball again. Eat the pill. Gives me more luck. And actually, oops. I was going to do something else in the shop, but then I forgot I left the room and I have to kill these enemies if I want to go back in. And that's done. So I'm going to donate some money. This is the donation machine. And those 2 coins will always be in it now in future playthroughs. And then the more money you donate, then you'll unlock, like you can upgrade the shop and you'll unlock new items after reaching certain milestones. Some of them are very worthwhile. No, I'm going to hold on to my crystal ball charge for the next floor. Although, what floor am I on now? Depths 1. Okay, so there's one more to go after this. Blow up this tinted rock. Okay, I can't actually pick up that soul heart because my hearts have maxed out now. In the original game, you could go beyond what the screen shows, but this one, 12 is the highest. Sorry, it took me a second. I actually had to count how many was there. Even though I know how many is there, but I still just forgotten I had to count. Oh jeez. I hate these guys. Especially when they're too far away from me, you can't get them like this. Because as you can tell, they shoot giant crazy ass lasers too. Although, I was thinking about this, you know, everything in this game is liquid, you know, like I'm shooting tears and later on I'll shoot like red tears, which I always assume are blood. And even the way the laser comes out, when it hits the wall, it looks like just power of liquid, like a hose, and it kind of splashes sideways off it. So in that case, I always think the lasers in this are kind of blood. Obviously then there's things like technology that is literally lasers coming out of electricity. But I don't know. Like I always thought brimstone was kind of firing just a massive power of blood. Kind of a, you know, what was that, The Exorcist or something? I don't know. I'm not sure. Leave your ideas in the comments or whatever. But I think it's blood. The cage. The cage is a tough boss. Very cool, but also very hard. Mainly because of its big jumpy attack. And it rolls at me, which actually isn't too bad. Oop, wait, never mind. He hit me. Yeah, I actually don't mind his jumpy attack in comparison to his pain in the ass rolling, because it just bounces everywhere and it's harder to dodge, because it's a bit more unpredictable. And he'll also summon guys that shoot lasers at you. Although they're brown lasers, which I always kind of thought then would be more vomit. Kind of vomity lasers. Oh, I got 7 red hearts, so I unlocked Magdalene. Challenge number 5, the tank, and challenge number 10, the curse. Or cursed even, sorry. And I got a devil deal room. And I'm going to buy both of these items by sacrificing 2 hearts each. So now I can fly, shoot spectral tears really fast, and the pact also increased my damage. Now I'll go back and pick up 1 or 2 of these soul hearts. Because I have 1 or 2 of these soul hearts. Anything else on the map? No, not really. I know there's a carriage somewhere else in the dungeon, but I think I'm probably okay. I'll hopefully get a new card from the crystal ball anyway in the next floor, and everything will be good. I haven't even needed to use my cheat sheet yet. I'm very happy that I've gotten all the items I know about so far. Now I get another soul heart. Now let's see how this map is looking. I can't go in here because to go into these other arena rooms with the skulls on them, you have to only have 1 red heart or no red hearts, and then it'll open up and you fight 2 bosses in there instead of the usual 3 waves of enemies. That doesn't necessarily mean that there'll be better items in there, but there is sometimes. Or sometimes you might still just find a shitty chest or something. But that's kind of the way most of this game works, that you'll always find either something or just a shitty chest. That was the thing where everything was. 2 keys. I hate these guys too. They just appear and reappear and they're pretty strong. Not strong to hit you, just they just have a lot of health. And it did take a while to teleport sometimes. So you just have to wait. And I hate having to wait to kill enemies. It's like, I know I can kill this thing, just let me kill it. I like these bosses too because they're pretty easy. They just bounce around the place and then they just spawn maggots at the end. Or worms or whatever they're called. I just make up the names of the enemies if I don't know them. So those little white things are maggots. These things are bats. These things are just little pustules. Or shooty things. Oh yeah, when you have spectral tears it takes longer to break down poop and the bombs and barrels and stuff. 2 diamonds, that doubles the amount of money you have. In this case it'll be a bit of a waste though because it'll only give me 2 coins. And the crystal ball did nothing for me. But you see, now that I can fly, after getting the Spirit of the Night, usually I'd have to spend 2 keys to get through here to get all these 6 bombs, but now I can just fly over everything. Which is much handier. And I'm going to open the shop just because. That doesn't really do much. If I go in a certain angle, it looks like I've got horns, but it's actually just from the little brimstone that I've got these little wiggly ears. But I'll blow up the shopkeeper in here because that's what I've been doing. And I'm just going to donate this 1 coin to the donation machine. I think the first thing I get is at like 10 coins. And I go in here. And there are these brains. These brains are tougher. You actually take 2 hits of damage from them instead of 1. Because every hit you take on the first few floors, unless it's a champion enemy or an explosion, you take a half a heart of damage. And then later on in the game, everything will deal a full heart of damage to you. Unless you have a certain protective item. There's a few of them that just reduce the amount of damage you take. More lasers. But this time I can just get next to them and hit them easily. This game becomes so much easier when you can fly. It's ridiculous. Some coins. More lasers. Also those floating skulls you can't actually kill at all until you just have to kill all the other enemies in the room and then they'll disappear. I got soul hearts coming out the wazoo. Whoa! Mustn't forget that guy. It didn't even matter if he was going to hit me because I've still got the holy protection. Even though I'm some sort of very crazy ass, scary, evil demon monster. Ghost. With poop on my head. And I got a fly to protect me from shots. This here I think is teleport. I'm curious. I kind of want to try it out. See where it takes me. There. That just took me backwards. I mean, if you're very lucky, it'll take you to somewhere good. Like the secret room, or the super secret room, or the error room. Or I think there's a tiny, tiny chance of getting the black market, which is another super secret place. I got a bad fly. Oops. I forgot to pick up my other thing again though. What a waste. Here's a tinted rock though, so I'll use that. And more soul hearts. I don't need any more. Anyway. Here you go, slot machine. Oh, more coins. Now I take this crystal ball back. And my throat is getting very dry. I've been talking non-stop for this whole time. Oh wow, a soul heart. Unfortunately, I don't need it anymore because this is the last boss. Give me 1 second though, because I need to take a drink before I finish. I know Coke exactly isn't going to make my throat any less dry, but whatever. So I don't know if you're going to get a great idea of how tough Mom is. Because when you start this game, everything is really hard. And then once you beat Mom for the first time, everything becomes so much easier. Not like the game doesn't become easier, but I think it's just a thing that clicks in your head. That's what happened to me anyway, first time I beat Mom. But here she is. She's usually a big giant foot. You also get to fight her like fat foals, bulging through the walls. And her eyes also bulging through the walls. Oh, also she spawns in enemies. None of them particularly taxing though. Ow, I got hit. But luckily I poisoned her. So yeah, I suppose I'm not so overpowered that I'm just finishing her off in one go. So you can kind of get an idea of what it's like to fight her.
Isaac was cornered. His mother, fueled with the desire to serve her God, was bearing down on Isaac. I will do as I'm told, my lord. I love you above all else, Isaac's mother repeated to herself. This was the end of the line for Isaac. His mother was far too strong for him. But just as he accepted his fate, God intervened, sending an angel down from above to stop his mother's hand. And just like that, it was over.
You're so happy. Oh. He only drew that he won in the other thing, in his stories. And we unlocked the womb, which is the next area, and challenge number 20, the purest. And the horsemen are loose. And we unlocked the cube of meat. So yeah. And now my picture has changed. So there's me standing on top of Mom. And signed by Isaac. Because he's just telling a story. Anyway. That is the first run through of Binding of Isaac. I really hope this whole thing worked, because otherwise I'm going to be pissed. And I hope you liked it, and you know, let me know if you want to see more. Either way, I'm probably still going to record more because I love this game and I kind of like doing videos of it too, even though this is just my first one. And let me know about how the face cam worked out, and you know, if seeing me made you sick or anything, I apologize. I should have put a disclaimer at the start of this video. But anyway, that's all for now, and next time I'll go into another run, possibly of one of the characters I unlock next time. Bye everybody.